Hi, my name is Monica Penn, and today I will be teaching you the Unit 2.3 decimals, base 10 rounding, and number lines. Give me 1 second. You might be asking yourself, what is a number line? Well, a number line is a line on which numbers are marked at intervals, like this. And it's used to illustrate simple numerical operations. Today we will use them to help us round. But then you might ask yourself, what is rounding? What does it do? Rounding makes a number simpler, but it keeps its close value to what it was. So for an example, we have 731 gets rounded to 730. 239 gets rounded to 240. If you look closely, we kept their values to their somewhat actual values. We rounded down with the number 731 and rounded up with 239. Now, I will tell you some general rules of rounding. We round based on, it honestly depends on what they're asking you to round or rounding to what specific value or place value. But we usually round based on the last digit or quote unquote the end of the number. In base 10 rounding, the rules are digits 1 through 4, round down. Digits 5 through 9, round up. Digit 0, we can leave alone. I have a little key. But this gets a little more complicated and complex with decimals and place values, which we will talk about now. So you might be asking yourself, what is a decimal? A decimal is a fraction written in the form of a whole number. As soon as you hit the little period or dot in a number, then it becomes a decimal. See, we can see right here, 1/4 was a fraction, but now it turns into 0.25, and point makes the decimal. 1/2 is equal to 0.50. Point makes it a decimal. Now with decimals, we can't forget about our decimal places. After the decimal point, place values still continue, and they always will. So we have our usual tens place, ones place, but once the decimal hits, the first place to the right is our tenths, then we have the hundredths and thousandths. These place values after the decimal point end with the th. Our problem of the day, which is A. Plot 8.918 on a base 10 number line with major ticks as tens and round to the nearest 10. And B. Plot 8.918 on a base 10 number line with major ticks as tenths and round to the nearest tenth. So let's look at problem A. With A, we are focused on our tens. Tens. We don't have a digit in our tens place, but we have one in our ones place. And we also have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. But it says for us that we need to round to the nearest 10 and have the major ticks as tens.
made this one a little longer, this would be 0. This one would be 10. And then from 0 to 10, those are our tens. But with these smaller ticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 8.9. Where should we put? I know it goes in the 8 somewhere. If you're really questioning it, you can cut. Put another tick mark in the middle, cut it in half. It would be 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, and 9.5. So we look at it. We know that 8.9 goes after 8.5, so 0.9 is closer to 9, so it'll be a little closer to 9. Let's just say that this is our point right here.
And since we're focused on rounding to our tens right here, then we'll be focused on our digit in the ones. And our digit in the ones is an 8. 8 getting rounded gets rounded up. So we have 8.9 rounded to tens equal to 10. You can also use the same there's a shorter distance from 8.918 to 10 than there is from 0 to 8.9.
So let's write that as our final answer. This will be included with it. 8.918 is rounded. Is equal to 10.
Plot 8.918 on a base 10 number line with major ticks as tenths and round to the nearest tenth. Here we go. We're past the decimal point because we have the ths. If we look at it, 9 is our tenth. 1 is our hundredths, and 8 is our thousandths. Since we're focused on tenths, our number line will be focused on our 8 point blank.
So we can start with 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, 8.8, 8.9, and 9.0, which is just 9. You're still wondering where we should put our 8.18. We can do the same trick that we did last time. So 8.95, 8.85, 8.75, 8.65, 8.55, 8.25, 8.25, 8.25. So looking over here, it's going to be 8.1, so it's going to be really close to just 8.9. Just 0.91.
Since we are focused on rounding our tenths, the place value to the right of it, right next to it, is the hundredths. So we will be looking at our hundredths place, which is a 1. Grab our key. If it ends with 1, it gets rounded down. So, in other words, 8.918 rounded to the tenths is equal to 8.9. If you really wanted to do the little trick again, look at that tiny, tiny, tiny space right there, that tiny short length compared to 8.918 to 9.0, you can see that 8.9 and 8.918 are closer.
So we have this here, the number line, 8.918. Yes, what did we say is rounded? Yeah, is equal to 8.9.
But just take it step by step and just try your best. Thank you. Hope you do well.